This might be the time to start the show. Who's ready for some boom, baby? Boom! There is no sun to shine this morning. I looked. Cloudy, noisy mornings, hectic mornings, mornings that don't make you feel sorted. This is the morning motivation. I'm Mark Saint. This is Saint's Addiction. Every morning I get up and I reach, preach, and teach to people. And this morning we're going to talk about fundamentals and principles. After this election, it's obvious that some people have different fundamentals and principles than I do. And that's not only in politics, but it's in relationships and it's in lifestyle. So as I'm out here freezing my ass off in Pittsburgh, I'm going to have a conversation about the sunshine in Thailand. Leg out. Bless up, everybody. Let's light one for the nation. Fundamentally, I see myself as an iconoclast. Most people don't know that word. So you know that word, iconoclast? That means people that shake icons. Bruce Lee was an iconoclast. He didn't just follow with Wing Chun and karate and all that other shit. He created his own way of fighting, his own system. I think it's called the way of not getting hit or something like that. Yeah. Fundamentally different than what other people were seeing. And that's the conversation I'm having this morning, is we all have something that we are fundamentally different at doing. My great aunt Marlene would tell you that your principles are you. They won't be convenient, and they'll challenge you at your most inconvenient time. Right now is a challenging time. What country I want to live in, what weather I want to endure, who I want to love, and why I want to love them. Fucking cats woke me up too early this morning and I'm arguing. Fucking cats need discipline. And I'm like, you can't discipline cats. And I'm over here, maybe I'm fundamentally a dog person, because you could discipline a dog. The moment you throw something at a cat, hit a cat, or scat a cat, someone thinks you're fucking murdering a cat. And there are people that are always going to be that way. There are people that are going to see danger, they're going to see worry, they're going to see fear. They can't help it. That's their job almost. That's their job to keep you where you are. Fundamentally, I had friends that were like that. They're like, yo, dude, as long as Saint shows up, it stays the same. And I'm like, bitch, I went and got a girlfriend. Maybe you should get a boyfriend. Maybe you should change yourself fundamentally. But there's people that would rather be stubborn and keep their selfishness. It's what I said today. Like, date your cat. You know, you won't have to compromise with a cat. The cat will do what you say, it won't clean up after itself, and you'll have to keep feeding it and cleaning up its shit. Sounds a lot like a relationship to me. And it's true. We'll compromise for a boss, but not a boyfriend. We'll compromise the weather for money, and then you'll compromise your principles for convenience. And this is a huge importance, because they won't be convenient. It'll challenge you to the nth degree of what you fundamentally believe. Do you fundamentally believe politics is the ultimate way? Then you will be only dating someone that believes in your political views. Same like religion. Can you imagine if religion was a high priority in your life, dating somebody that was outside of your fundamental beliefs? And that's what it is. Do you fundamentally believe that you have to stay where you are and grind where you are to get out of where you are? Then that will be your belief. And I can't argue with you with it, because you will be right. 1000% right. That's why people say, if you say you can't, I believe you, because you're 100%. With that attitude, you 100% can't. But if you say you can, I also believe you. I believe you with all the heart that you said you could. And that's the energy. That's the principle. That the people that say that they will do, and there are people that won't ever do. And there we are. the fundamentals of who you are, the fundamentals of your lifestyle choices, the fundamentals of your action. Are you the type of person to be a procrastinator? Fundamentally, do you put things down and leave 5 minute projects around and then they all become too much and nothing gets done? I know it's true. Man, I'm part of it too. Part of me likes to have my blunt before I like to do my work, and that work won't get done. So I had to put the work before the weed. Put that work before the weed, homie. Pick your priorities. These are our principles. But most of us are just going side by side. And I'm like, this is too important to deny. It's too important not to focus on and maturate to this level. That means being mature enough to know your principles. Will you break into a car? Will you steal a flower from a front yard? I do. You know? Will you break into a bank? Well, why not? Oh, because there's consequences. Okay, let's look at our consequences here. What are the consequences of not eating healthy? We all know, don't we? Barely see that plane pushing through. See you later. Just like that. What if you didn't believe in electricity and you were Amish? That this device in my hand right now is the devil's work. Or what if it was Native Americans when they were first taking pictures and they thought that was stealing their souls? Maybe it is stealing a little part of us. It's stealing little parts of our day, little seconds here and there, 2.3 seconds, 1.3 seconds, each flick of the finger. It's stealing little parts of our time. Fundamentally, you will say to me, well, I need social media. I need to be connected. I need to know the news. Philosophically, I could tell you that there's nothing on the news but the blues, that you're pre-programming yourself, that it's a diet of the mind, it's a diet of the body. But we'll tune in, we can't wait, and we give up our time easily. Not because it gave us a cost, because it came freely. Look at the attitude we treat that. What do we do with our time? Attitude could be lethargic. Can't stop you from doing that. That might be your pattern. And yes, I did wait for the other trash truck to come by. And yeah, there's always going to be some noise. There's always going to be some challenge. There's always going to be something to test you if you're going to do the right thing or the wrong thing. Are you going to wear your halo or your horns? And I'm not perfect. No one is perfect. Here at Saints Addiction, this label right here, player, no one is perfect. And that's what I had to admit to myself fundamentally, that I'm like, some of these things I'm okay with having a little tobacco in my weed, having premarital sex. What else can I get in trouble for? Masturbation, pornography, and traveling. I guess I'm just a vagabond like that. But in my world, I was moving always as a kid. Every time you do a construction job, you're literally working your way out of a job. At least that's how my dad explained it to me. You always want to come in under budget and do it faster than predicted, and now you don't have a job. Morning. Morning. Good morning.
Pretty girl.
Yeah, good morning.
Why she's so pretty?
Yeah, she got one blue eye too.
She's so
Get the neighborhood. Get him, get him. And that's it. Some people, they get stuck in their ways. And I think a mature person evaluates their ways. I think somebody with maturity looks at their ways and go, some things can be changed. Not everything that you've done in your character is perfect. And not everything that we do is unflawed. It might need some examination. Like the fat kid in high school that started working out and now is a whole fitness dude. We see it all the time. Girls that were big and then went to working out and got small, or people that stopped going to the fucking pizza place and being called Big Al. If you're Big Al, then you're gonna have to always be big. You're gonna have to back up that story. I got a buddy, Paulie Mack. He was almost 400 pounds, bro. He's a big dude. It is not healthy for him to drink Coca-Colas. It is not healthy for him to fucking be that big, and he knew it. And he said, Mark, I want to be a vision for a vision. I said, what? He's like, I want to be married. And to be married, I have to be fit enough to be a husband. And there's some accountability right there. To be a Navy SEAL, I have to be fit enough to be a Navy SEAL. It's not just enough to be there physically, but mentally. And people don't show up fundamentally. That's why I keep saying it's the fundamentals, it's your principles, it's the core of who you are. If you think that by peacefully resisting your own workouts, that you're going to get back at someone else, that's your own body. It's your own food. You put it in you, and you're the one that's gonna have to feel the effects. Same as drugs. Drugs aren't hugs. I keep trying to fucking put that out for people. Drugs aren't hugs. Get a real hug and do it longer than 3 seconds. They say the average hug lasts less than 3 seconds, like a finger flick, like you're reading an article on your fucking TikTok. What if you held it longer? What if you squeezed more oxytocin out of it? They say there's some cool moments in life, like the quiet of the morning and the dawn. We like sunsets. We like it when the northern lights are out. We like it when people are out. We like events. And then there's you sitting there just taking it. And I don't want to just take it anymore. I wanted to be active with it. And that was the difference. No longer was I going to sit with my principles and just go, oh, it's okay for people to disrespect me or for me to disrespect myself. That's huge. That I only have control over myself, and that's even better. And with that control, I can do more than just be who I am. I can be more. I can exist more. I can exert more. I can work more. I can do so many things that I am capable of and believe I'm capable of instead of mouth service. You got to put some action behind your principles. That time when it becomes, what does she say, inconvenient, is going to be your time. It's going to be your time to shine, to show people that you're not going to steal from them their time, wasting their time. You're not going to judge them, right? You couldn't be judged. You'd have to be on the same court. And you're going to let people be who they are, or you're going to rise them up to who they can be. Fundamentally, some people just want to be who they are, and they'll always be that way. We, we get noobs here. It's a new term. A noob is like a, what is it? Nebby. A nebby is a nosy neighbor. Yeah, we got nebbies, and they got stuff out in their back. So, yeah, let's finish this show strong, shall we? And that's it. Fundamentals and principles. Who you are when no one's looking. The work you do when no one's around. It's my favorite part of that movie, and I never watched it because I'm a wrestler, but I should. But it was an Iranian student, and this was in the 70s. So, coming to America from Iran was not the business, especially if you were trying to date a white girl. And they were fucking with this dude. And he was at his uncle's house. And his uncle was an abusive alcoholic and couldn't give two shits about him. So not only did he escape his country, Iran, which is scary, but he went to his uncle's house in America, and kids were bullying him at school, and he was having a tough time, but he wanted to wrestle. And that was his only way to express himself, was to beat these dudes on the wrestling mat. And he was a really good wrestler, but his uncle would train him and not down like counting it and doing it, but telling him what to do. And then he was like, what, you're not going to stand around and count? And he's like, do it or don't do it. The results are your own. And I thought it was the most strongest statement, because people would be like, oh yeah, you know how many athletes gain weight in the off season? One of my favorite ones, Dwight Howard. Most people know Dwight Howard. He's a really tall basketball player, gregarious, right? Did you know that Dwight Howard has a candy addiction? Bet you didn't know that. Yeah, he had 20 fucking candy bars every day. That's a lot of candy, Michelle. 20 candy bars every day. Addicted to candy. Go look it up. Dwight Howard, NBA player, had a Saints addiction to candy. He was a sugar slut too. And in his sugar slutness, how come everybody wants to do lawnmower and shit in the morning? I don't know. But anyway, so when he would what he would do is he would sneak his candies and beat the dietitians, and they were wondering why he was gaining weight in the off season. I'm talking like 30 pounds of weight. And he just didn't, no matter how tall he was, no matter how cool he was and his straight teeth and he's a gregarious person, guess what? We all have addictions. We all have weaknesses, and I think that's what we're supposed to do with our lives. Be an iconoclast, shake some of our fundamentals, shake some of our principles. It's hard to do. It's not going to be easy because it's going to test you. And I think these are the biggest tests to go in your life, to test yourself in relationships, to test yourself in teamwork, to test yourself in life, in the world. It's such an empowering thing to do, is say, you know what? I'm strong at these things and I know it, you know, but there's something everybody needs to do, like public speaking, or what else? What else is there that people are afraid to do? Lose weight, travel. What else are people afraid to do? And they always
Have
say
kids.
that have children, uh, start a business. What else are people afraid to do all the time? Do something new. And there it is. Are you a fundamental person that just can't do anything new? Are you the type of person that always has to hold to the same fucking pattern, smoking the same cigarettes in the same spot every time in the morning? Are you that person? My mom's that person. She'll drink coffee and smoke cigarettes like it's a bad habit. And the only thing that'll stop that habit are grandchildren. It makes no sense to me to put your effort outside of yourself, to give that energy to someone else and say, "Oh, you're more powerful than me. You make decisions for me. You tell me what should I do?" And I go, "Wait, but I'm not your outcome. I'm not your consequences. I can only be like this part of the chapter. The next chapter is what you're writing, and you're the one that has to experience it. It's not my job to choose your major in college. It's not my job to choose what you should do with your life. This is your job. It's a full-time job. It's a fucking all day, everyday job to uncover the weaknesses, expose them, and work on them. The rest of us pretty much just like to shine. We just want to pretend that we have it all together. We're just like, hey man, as long as my teeth are white and people think I'm pretty and successful, everything will be all right. But they can't be your happiness. I did the damn thing, the whole thing, bro. 30 years old, not married, no kids, but I had a condo, I had a car, I had a career. I gave it all up just to go travel the world. What was your age? And I just said, look, I'm not married, I don't have any kids. If I don't go now, I never will. And the truth was, I knew myself. You know, I knew that I could be a kept man, kept in relationships, kept at jobs, kept as a person, like kept myself down. And that in itself was like an aha moment of the excuses that I keep to keep myself down, or the reasoning you have to say to other people. They'd be like, "Why aren't you a doctor yet?" And you're like, "Oh yeah, well, I got the money and the funds and my dad and the teachers and the blah blah blah." Okay, you can go that route with it, but you also are the consequences with it. I have a friend that still blames the fucking his parents and the fucking professors why he didn't graduate from college, bruh. And he's still that way. I thought we avoided all the trucks. Too much